Jeremy Felodo Federal Constituency of Lagos State, Honorable Paul Adeboye Kadejaye, for discussion on the battle for presiding officers' jobs of the 10th National Assembly. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, sir.
Yeah, good evening, viewers.
Let me start by congratulating you on becoming a member-elect of the National Assembly. I remember the last time you were here was just before your election. How are you bracing up for the challenge?
Yeah, thank you very much for congratulating me. And I'm happy that I won the elections and, got on my side. So thank you. And you asked me how well I'm prepared or I'm preparing for the assignment before me. Well, we have just completed a one-week induction training program for members-elect, both in the entire National Assembly. We rounded up today. And it's been quite intensive, it's been quite educating, it's been quite, informative in terms of what our responsibilities are, what challenges we're likely to face as legislators, and of course, how well we can mitigate and solve some of those challenges. So I see that we're already getting prepared for the assignment before us, and it's so delightful.
All right, so going by your interaction with members-elect from various parts of the country, what insight has that given you into the kind of National Assembly Nigerians should expect?
Well, it's quite good to know that the diversity of the nation called Nigeria is what one will experience in the National Assembly, because you have people from all diverse culture, from all diverse language, from diverse orientations, diverse belief, and all of us are congregating together to legislate for Nigerians. So I've made good friends. I've started interacting with people, whether Hausas, Yorubas, Igbos, every nationality in Nigeria, and it's been quite interesting. So it explains to me the cohesion, the unity that exists in Nigeria. That irrespective of our differences, we can still work together as a people. And that is my personal experience from a few days that have, been in the National Assembly, especially for the induction program. But beyond that is to say that we're still a nation that has a great opportunity depending on leadership and followership. Much on leadership, but not little on the followership. The followership also has a responsibility to also play their own parts. As people who have come to the 10th Assembly, we will make up our mind. We will work in collectivism and ensure that we can help to contribute in ameliorating major problems or some of the problems that are militating against our people in terms of welfare, in terms of development, in terms of running the country in a much more, vibrant manner that people can live and earn living wages and be part of the resources that God has endowed us with.
All right, so now that you're a member-elect for the House of Representatives, what should the people of Jeremy Felodo constituency expect from you?
Well, one of the things that they must expect from me, which of course they're already seeing, is to give them a voice. People need a voice in the assemblage of the entire nation. If you don't have a voice, it's like you do not exist. Because what touches all must be debated by all. And when they're debating it and you are not partaking actively, your people will be shortchanged. So my people will have a vibrant voice, a vibrant representation, and of course a dynamic contribution in terms of what I know, what I think should be the benefits of my constituents. So my people should be rest assured. And secondly, I intend to also, in tandem with other colleagues, bring to bear the various necessary development that will accrue to us, or that is needed to accrue to us from the Federation. We must also be part of the national agenda. I represent Ajiromi Felodun, which is the mini Nigeria. That is where all the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria are staying. So, like I do in the House, I've established, or in the induction program, to say that I represent the entire country in my constituency. That's where you have every nationalities. Therefore, any development to Ajiromi Felodun Federal Constituency is a development, is a favor, it's a help to the entire nationalities. Every Nigerian has one brother or one sister, one friend who lives in Ajiromi Felodun Federal Constituency. They will expect development, and of course, finally, they will expect, or they must also hope to get good representation in terms of, ensuring that I join hands to contribute to national issues that will bring national development beyond my constituency development. The Bible says, seek you the peace of Jerusalem, and every other thing shall be added unto it. So, if there is peace in Nigeria, if Nigeria is developed, if we relate in harmony, obviously that will translate to every other communities that exist in Nigeria. So I'm going to dovetail into local, representation, national representation, and of course, representation that will bring in those needed development for the entire country.
All right. We'll definitely come back to you. But for now, let's move to the battle for the principal positions in the 10th National Assembly. How will you describe it?
Well, it's normal. Every good thing is not meant for one person. Every good thing, everybody wants the best. So if there are no national battles for national positions in the National Assembly, it means that they have not sent in vibrant people to represent them. So if all of us go to sleep, then we will not have a vibrant National Assembly. So it is normal, it is political for us to agitate, for us to struggle, for us to compete among ourselves to determine who leads us. Because if you have nothing to say about those who govern you, you will suffer the reign of idiots. And so we don't want to suffer the reign of idiots. We must be interested in those who govern us. Because if you don't elect good people to govern you, it's a recipe for disaster for the entire assembly. So we are concerned, and we are part of the struggle, as it may be, as it were, to say that I, as a person, and most of my colleagues are alive. We'll be having day, night, evening meetings, consultations, and what have you. I've just left one about an hour ago before coming to the studio here. So there are consultations that are ongoing, there are discussions, there are a lot of interplay of inter- and intra-party politics that are ongoing. And me, as a representative of the Ajiromi Felodun Federal Constituency, have not been left out. And many of my colleagues are also not left out. So it's normal. If we don't have this, then we don't have a vibrant nation, a vibrant political system.
Yes, Honorable Kalejaye, it's normal, but then, just like I asked my guest some days ago, this is just a race to pick principal officers for the National Assembly. But why is it generating so much heat? Did you get my question? All right, so I'm asking...
I got the first part of your question. Why is it generating so much heat?
Yes, this is just a race to pick...
That's the first part of your question that I got.
Yes, this is just a race to pick principal officers for the National Assembly. Why is it generating so much heat?
the entire activities that will happen in 4 years begins right now. So it's not just. The word just cannot describe it. Because if we don't get it right ab initio, then we'll never get it right. So electing principal officer that will rule us, it's so important, not only to us, to the entire country. So it cannot just be just. It is an all-important activity. Once that is set rightly, then the House it will begin on the right footing. And once the House begins on the right footings, the nation will benefit. The entire people will benefit. So it is not just the race to choose. It's the beginning that will determine the end of the 4 years of our stay in the nation. So it is normal, like I said earlier on, and it's just important that every interested party will want to have the best. They want to have a shot at it. So people have not been sent from their various constituents to come and be bench warmers or to come and be just follow. They have been sent here to also be part of what will happen in the next 4 years. So it's not just a race.
All right. So far, we've seen many aspirants have said they will not drop their bids despite nomination of some members for principal positions. Now, is it right to go against the wish of one's party?
Well, for me, I believe in the supremacy of my party, of the party. I believe that the Constitution of Nigeria has not permitted anybody to run an independent candidacy. You need to pass through a political party. And in passing through that political party, you have also subjugated some of your rights to that party. Because in they sponsoring you and allowing them to use their platform to rise to power, you have also filled certain forms that also indicates that you respect party supremacy. So if that is the case, and then the ballot paper did not contain any individual name, Kalejaye was not on the ballot paper. What was on the ballot paper is APC and all the parties. So people voted. Yes, you can say the individual's pedigree also counted. How acceptable you are as a candidate to your people counts very, very much. But beyond that, the party becomes the logo. It becomes the instrument by which you assume office. You attain political power. So if that is the case, so I do not see why anybody would want to disobey the party directive. So for me, party supremacy is very, very important for us to follow. Well, aside saying that, does not mean that as individuals we do not have a right to want to look at what the party has said and to want to do some criticism, to say, look, we think you should have done it this way or that way. But man is a chooser. If you don't choose, you have also taken a decision not to choose. So if the party has chosen, whether rightly or wrongly, they have made a choice. So if they have made a choice in terms of what they want or what they think the National Assembly should do, they also have some other considerations in terms of their decisions. I'm not saying that what the party has done is absolutely correct in terms of the zoning or micro-zoning, but the fact of the case is that what they see, we do not see. What they consider, we may not consider. And then they have the platform of the entire country in their hand in terms of their consideration. Don't forget the party officers too and leadership were also elected. So they also derive their powers from the people, from members of the parties who have chosen them, who have elected them to represent our interests. So we have also empowered them to take some decisions on our behalf. So for me, party supremacy is not controvertible.
Oh, fantastic. I like that. But then looking at how the aspirants expressed their grievances, could they have done better?
Well, I think they have expressed their grievances.
Please go ahead, Honorable Kalejai.
Well, yes, thank you very much. I think they have expressed their grievances in a normal way, and I commend all of them. They're all high-ranking officers, people of pedigree, people that from the track records, from what I've heard about them, are also people of proven integrity. They are also entitled to lead the National Assembly because they are not just ordinary people. So, and in expressing their grievances, they have gone back to the party. They have not been on the street to carry placards. They have not gone to court to seek one injunction or the other. So they have gone through the normal procedure for them, which is the party who has taken that decision. And in going to them, they have gone there to express their grievances, to say, no, we cannot accept, or we do not accept your micro-zoning or your zoning, as it were. So they think otherwise. But then, the party has also given them assurances that they will look into their matter. And we still have quite some time before we're going to be sworn in, hopefully on the 13th of June. We'll still have some days to do politicking among ourselves. And I think what is ongoing that I am aware of is that what we see in the social media sometimes are over-reported. Sometimes the agitations among the people are greater than the operators. Those of us who are operators, who are within, who see what goes on, we know that at the end of the day, the APC as a party is a party of organization, is a party of ideas, is a party that has what it takes to manage whatever crisis that will arise. And even in taking that decision, they are already aware that will generate some controversies. So I'm sure they're on top of it. I'm aware there are consultations that are ongoing, even within those aggrieved, aspirants who wants to lead the National Assembly. So what is important for the party to do is what they have started doing. They have assured them they are looking into their matter. And for us, as members of the 10th National Assembly, today they have given us their choices in terms of who they want for the Senate presidency and who they want for the speakership. Yes, why not if not? If tomorrow they say, oh, it is not so, why not if not? But today, that decision stays.
So how do you think the APC should have handled this to avoid this protest by the aspirants?
I've said something. When you do good to somebody, you have done harm to the other person. I have two people who want to drink a cup of tea that is on my table and have just given to one. The one who has taken the cup of tea will naturally be happy and be thankful. The one who have deprived of or who could not take the cup of tea will not be happy. So whether you zone left or you zone right, there will be agitations from all quarters. The arguments left, right, and center is to satisfy individuals' opinion. What you see on this side is not what I see on the other side. I'm in your studio now. What I'm saying here, nobody sees except those of us who are in the studio together. How many people understand what we have gone through to produce this 1-hour event? It's gone through thick and thin. The producers have been monitoring me up and down. The cameras have been tested. The sound system, all of those ones are going on. Nobody sees it. But then people see the best part of it, which is what everybody is watching at home. So for me, the party may have done it rightly or may not have done it rightly, but whichever way the party does it, it will generate controversies. It can never be a perfect thing, and we are not perfect. Those who have done it are humans. So they may have made some errors here and there, but then they are pardonable errors, they are understandable errors, they are errors that are manageable, they are errors that are within levels of tolerance. And all of the people that we're talking about are also very loyal party members. They are leaders of the party. They are people who have benefited from the party. Most of them have been in the National Assembly upward of 8, minimum of 8 years. It means that they have been a partaker of legislative activities and they have played one leadership role or the other. So you understand what it takes to come up with leadership. So, but then you won't expect anybody you cane. If you cane a child, you will expect that the child will cry. So nobody will just allow his ambition to just die off and say, oh, give me a handshake. Nobody will give you a handshake to say for beating him or her. There will still be complaints. So for me, there is no way you doff the cap that will pass the eyelids. There is no way the party takes a decision that will record 100% approval from every party members.
All right, Honorable Kajai, because the APC national chairman has admitted that adequate consultation was not done before the nomination, do you see the party lobbying for the same people to keep the positions or taking a fresh step?
Well, that's left for the party. If the party has admitted that maybe there have been some errors here and there, so for them to put the errors together and correct it is left to the party. The party, according to you, has admitted that there were not adequate consultations. But I tell you, even if you consult from now till thy kingdom come, there will still be agitations. Because everybody is apolitical. Everybody is interested in satisfying his or her own ego. Some people want some positions for certain places. Some people do not even want some positions for certain places because some of the players are also interested in taking positions outside the executive, outside the parliament. So if I take speakership in my zone, for instance, it is not out of place that principal executive position may not come from that region. When ministerial positions are being considered, positions like, secretary to the federal government and some other positions may not come to that zone again because some people are looking at parliamentary positions as if that is all. Whatever imbalances that occur in this zoning that has been done can also be ameliorated in terms of executive position. So it's a totality of activity. Nobody must take this leadership of the parliament as if that is all that is available. If you don't become a speaker, and perhaps you are invited to become a minister, what do you say about that? It's about service. I give you an hypothetical example. I once, was going to be appointed into a position under the Buhari administration. I met a minister who I'm not going to name, and he said, look, the president is not in town. When the president comes back, I have something that will go for you. But along the line, the state government offered me another position. Within the 1 week, he asked me to wait. And I had to take the state up. When I consult him, say, look, you want to give me something, but they are giving me this in the state. He said, it's all about service. Go and check it. Say, all of us are serving our people. So if it's about service, those who cannot be speaker today, they can be chairman of committees. Those who are not chairman of committees, they can also even see benefit from other political appointments. So for me, the position of either speakership, principal positions in the National Assembly cannot be all and all. So we must tolerate, we must, accommodate, we must also be able to, give and take. So for me, is to appeal. While I'm not compelling anybody, while I'm not saying that people don't have rights and agitation to say, oh, I'm the most popular person, I should be this position. But then we must consider the interest of our party. Our party must, in the interest of our party must be paramount in our mind. We must not rock the boat. We cannot afford to rock the boat. And you also know that other parties are also interested. So we cannot afford to have what we had in the past. So for us, and I am sure, I can assure you, that by the grace of God, all these embroglio, all these infighting, all these crises is going to be over. Because the APC is also capable. It has the machinery, what it takes to. And I'm aware, like I said, that consultations are ongoing, even within the principal agitators.
On that note, let's go.